What's up, heavy duty crew? It is Friday morning and it is a leg day. Things are going to be done a little bit different today, and I wanted to teach you guys about body part prioritization, okay? In the fitness world, you will hear it 1,000 times to 1 that volume is needed to be increased to bring up lagging body parts. Well, if you've made it this far to my page and you've seen me train and you listen to the show, you know that we prioritize intensity over everything. And when we talk about intensity, it is a mental component, okay? So in order to prioritize intensity to bring up a lagging body part, what we're going to be prioritizing is its placement in the workout, okay? So I want to train the body parts that I want to improve most first. So let's say I'm training arms and back. You've seen arms and back training. The priority is the long head of my tricep. I want a bigger drop on the front double bicep. I want bigger arms from the side, etc., etc. So that comes first with the guillotine press. Then I finish off the tricep, then I move on directly to biceps, because that's another area I want to bring up. My back, overpowering, big as a barn door, thick, succulent, dense. It could go last. You know, we know how to stimulate it. We've grown it this little far in, so we're prioritizing other stuff. So when we come into leg training, I didn't think much about body part prioritization when I started the 6 to 8 super loading, is what I'll just call it, which is trying to get to mechanical failure earlier in sets. So I got that program. The exercise selection is pretty much from Humberto Pulse, our good friend High Intensity Babes. And I started executing that, fell in love with it. Great program, but I feel as though my quads are absolutely the best part of my leg. If you see my legs, you know the sweeps are there, they're dense, they'll get striated from the front, all good. What I need to bring up is the hamstrings. I need the backs of my legs to be the show, okay? And when you have a back that's as big and as dense as mine, that bottom half needs to be there. Because even though the upper is so good, it's gonna make the bottom look bad. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to prioritize what I want to improve in legs. And the way we're gonna prioritize that, and we're gonna ensure that we can get the most stimulation, is to give it the most effort, which means putting it first in the workout. So I had somebody else in the gym earlier playing some loud music. I didn't record, but the first thing that I did today was a set of adduction. So think of the good girl machine, squeeze it in. Want to open up the machine to where your legs are spread as far as possible, get a good stretch. Go to absolute failure. Pull on the handles, pull your seat, your ass into the seat, get as deep in as you can, and go to absolute failure, 6 to 8 reps, heavy load, okay? Next, I'm going to be doing a seated hamstring curl. The reason I prioritize the adductors first is because I want that separation from the hamstring on the inside, looking through the back. And also, it makes my legs wider from the front. It just is a much better look. If you don't have adductors, your legs are going to look small. You want to increase width. Everybody's worried about the width out here. Let's prioritize the width in here. Give it the most effort we can at the beginning of the workout. Ensure that it got every ounce of potential we could put into it, and then move on. Not extra volume, extra focus, okay? Then I'm gonna move on to a double leg hamstring curl. I was doing the isolateral hamstring curl, but I wanna add another movement, so you could call it volume, but rather I'm gonna be training my hamstrings from 2 directions. I'm gonna be training it in the lengthened and in the shortened position. So I'm gonna do the seated hamstring curl, and then I'm gonna do an RDL variation to focus on the hamstrings and glutes. Then I'm gonna move on to the squat machine that we use on another workout to train the glutes. And then I'll do a set of heavy leg press to finish off the quads. So less emphasis on the quads, more emphasis on the areas I want to improve. How did I do that? I changed the order of operations here. And that's something you guys need to take to your workouts, okay? When we're focused on such low volume, putting so much effort into a set, we cannot increase quantity, or it's gonna drag down the whole process. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to prioritize our effort. And that means put it first in training. Hope this helps. All right, smellers, here we go. Right into the top set of hamstring curls. Wanted to say that could have done this first, could have got hamstrings done first, right? Because that ultimately is what I want to prioritize. But there was another component to this, and that is muscle activation. When I trained with Josh and Percy a couple weeks ago, we trained legs and I put them through the leg workout. I got the report from them, which is something I've confirmed in myself, but it was great to hear from other people, is that they never felt hamstring activation like they did before. And this is something I've noticed in the past. When you use that adduction machine, it makes that hamstring contraction so much better. Combine that with proper tibial placement, so we'll be pulling through the bicep femoris. Boom! Hamstrings are going to be absolutely annihilated. So that machine is new. We only got it 2 weeks ago, so that's why it hasn't been in my programming. But now that that piece is here, I'm going to really put emphasis on it. I'm going to be training adductors first, then moving on to hamstrings to get the maximum contraction. Train them from the knee, then train them from the hip. Pull it on both joint angles. Then we're going to move on to train quads. So let's move in. Since there was such an abrupt failure, we're going to give it 10 seconds on a rest pause. I'm going to use a little momentum to get it down to the bottom, force a squeeze, and force a negative. Hamstrings are done. That movement's done. Oh shit. Let's move on. Ooh. All right. So what we essentially have here is a deficit RDL, okay? Well, we're going to be using a machine, or I'm going to have a more comfortable hand position, and I can get into a better deficit, a way better deficit. I don't have to worry about plates in the way, don't have to worry about standing on a box, and I can get the maximum hamstring stretch and load possible. So what I want to do in my setup is I'm going to set up, stand up, to get back in a position. I'm going to force my glutes back as far as I can without letting my knees cave outward. I want to let my knees stay inward. I want to try to prevent them from walking out. That's going to put more tension on that hamstring, where it ties into that knee, where we want that big blade coming up. Hips back, knees in. Squeeze those glutes at the end. Hips back. have much to say about that. So here we are. We're going to finish off the glutes. I find that this really, I can totally isolate my glutes with minimal quad involvement. There's something about the movement path of this machine. Again, following the cue from the RDL, getting the hips back as low as possible. But when I break over into the squatting position, my glute is completely under tension, and I can clench my ass and push my hips forward all the way up and get the maximum contraction. So yeah, I'm scared. My legs are lit. I'm scared to do this. Oh, there we go. Go a little bit further back. Glutes didn't want to go anymore. Quads were kicking in. So now we're going to finish down. Oh.